you saw earlier that there's this little room off to the side of my main office area. And this was actually meant to be like a walk-in closet on our plan. And so it kind of steps up funny because this room is over our front porch. So you step up into this room, and this has an extra little countertop where my kids can work. Truthfully, most of the time it's just covered with stacks and stacks of stuff. So usually they don't come in here to work. But I put all my filming supplies in here when I'm not using it, and then all my paper and other kinds of things that I don't use as often are in here. I have this little cart. This is some boards that I use for photography. This is a vinyl rollout background that I also use for photography. And then this big magnet board is something I made for my last scrap room at my last house. So I got a big piece of sheet metal, and then I took it to a framing shop and had a pretty frame put on it. And then here I just tuck ideas and all kinds of other little randomness. So this rolling cart right here, I have 3 of these. I purchased these at World Market, and then I got these white bins to put on top. I can't remember who makes these. It's a beading company, and they had a bunch that are thinner for holding containers of beads, and then they had these larger ones. And I just purchased the larger ones and used them on these carts because I think they look nice and clean. So right now, these top 3 bins that I have are all of my Queen & Company design team supplies. So they have the cutest like toppings and I don't know, so many cute embellishments. So those are living in there. These bottom 2 just have some extra ribbon rolls in them, and I think there's some extra printer paper and things like that in there. So at the end of this room, I have 2 huge cabinets that are floor to ceiling, and inside of them, the top half are just shelves, and then the bottom half have roll-out drawers, and I'll show those to you in a second. But first we'll go through this top one here. This is full of iris containers. One's missing. I used one to transport some supplies, but they just have various supplies. I store my pattern paper by either manufacturer or by theme or by color, and I'll show that to you in detail. First, I'll show you the shelves, then we'll get to that. These are my 2 Project Life albums, or my pocket style albums that I'm working on. I don't do Project Life where I take a picture every day, but I do kind of like an overview of our year in a pocket style. So that's my 2015 and that's my 2016. I haven't started my 2017 yet. Here are just some, I keep all of my Echo Park design team papers down here, and these are the coordinating embellishments that go with them in the iris cases. Then I've got just a container of large 12 by 12 stickers just from various kits and things. And so if I need a flat sticker, I can shuffle through those. These are some products that I designed for Anthology by Lisa Bernson. Those are there. Up here I have my laminating and quilling supplies. I think it's focusing on my finger, so let me pull that out of the way. So my laminating and quilling supplies from when I worked at Cricut. Then my We Are Memory Keepers punch boards. These are miscellaneous older tools like my eyelet setters and my basic gray notch tool that I've never ever used but hang on to for some weird reason, stuff like that. These are 6 by 12 Cricut mats just tucked in there and stored. There's all my Patriotic Supplies, so anything that has stars or stripes goes in there, and red and blue, so that goes there. There's my Imaginess eye top tool where you can make the badges and buttons and things like that, and then my fuse tool is in there. On the very top I have iris containers of just a bunch of rolls of vinyl and transfer tape, and then some random old like larger things like extra paper holder boxes, and that's an old template tool. So, and then this box contains a bunch of Cricut blades. Below that is my first set of rolling drawers, rolling shelves, I guess. And these are all my pattern papers and collections that are by theme. So I have all the Christmas here, the fall, Halloween, camping. You can see the different sections I've done. And that way, if it's Halloween, I just pull out this paper folder and take it to my desk. I grab the embellishment box, it's fall and Halloween, and then I just work from there. So you can see I try to keep things by collection if I still want to use them. And then loose So that's just in there. That makes sense. Anyway, don't need to go into more detail on that. Down here are more generic collections, and these are organized by color family. So I've got, for example, just to pull one out, like this Heidi Swap is in the brights section. Further back, these are mostly bright. I gravitate towards the bright. Back here are the muted, like the crepe paper and things like that. Then I have my design team supplies from the last year or so from Echo Park paper, the older collections that I hang on to just in case I need them. Okay, and then on this bottom rollout thing are sheet protectors in all different sizes, 8.5 by 11, 12 by 12. There's just some like templates. There's some pouches to organize kits in. There's extra Cricut mats, things like that. And then this is a Snapware box that just holds all of my ribbon rolls. I don't use ribbon very often, but I do pick it up in when I see it on sale, and I use it for like gift bags and things like that. So that's all here. Okay, this next cabinet over, on the top are more iris containers. At the very, very top are my Xyron refills, party supplies like party straws, party bags, a whole container of chipboard that I just saved and collected as I need it. An extra album, that's an extra fuse, that's a tray for the fuse, and I love using that for organizing my kits when I get them. These ones here are all themed papers. So kit, that's another Felicity Jane kit container. So those are my older ones. These are my Noel Mignon kits from when I was on their team. And then here's all my school themed products. And then these are all my embellishments for Christmas. Down here, this whole shelf, that's all thickers and letter stickers that I've collected over the years. So I keep them by color family, so I can just come and find, if I need a yellow or green, let's see, my blue one's overflowing, so I'm not gonna pull out that one. Here, we'll pull out this orange one. So if I need orange letter stickers, I just grab this bin and I can flip through them. There's old stuff in here. I try to purge these often, usually when all the vowels are gone out of a letter sticker, and then I can move on. So, okay, I put that back, and now I'll move down to this cabinet. So this cabinet holds rolling drawers of all my cardstock and generic pattern papers. I tend to hang on to cardstock and generic patterns probably more than the regular crafter because I do so much die cutting. When I'm requested to do ad work for silhouette or things like that, they mostly want cardstock or generic pattern papers. And so when I'm done with the kit or something like that, if there's polka dots or, you know, just generic patterns that aren't necessarily brand specific looking, I can stick them in here and use them for projects. So I have them all sorted by color family. All the warms are on top, and you've got the cools in the middle and then neutrals on the bottom. To the right of that, I have some open shelving units, and this is where I keep some machines and tools. So I have my Mink stamp making tool, I forget what this is called. Oh, the Your Story laminating thing from when I worked at Cricut. I have my Xyron. This is an embosser that does embossing folders. It's automatic, electronic, and it does larger 8.5 by 11 embossing folders. These photo boxes all hold various things. So these are cards that I've made. This one just holds some random embossing, supplies for my diamond press. And then these two are the iRock tool from Imagine Us that I hung on to, the cards that I've made. Did I say that was the cards I made? Those are the cards I made. These are actually metal dies. I'll show you that in a second. And then the very top, those two hold envelopes for card making, just all different sizes, A2, A7, vellum, etc. Let me pull this down and I'll show you how I store my metal dies. Okay, this box is quite heavy, so I had to use both hands. These are some extra ones that I just need to get into the system. But what I've done is I've used some 8x8 sheet protectors and I've cut them shorter. And I ordered some magnetic sheet paper that's adhesive on the back, and I've attached it to chipboard sheets. Then I cut a piece of white cardstock to just stick in there, and I make these little folders to hold my alphabet dies and other things. So there's those ones, and I'll just show you a few so you can get an idea of how those are stuck on there. I really like this system because it just makes it easy to flip through them and find what I need. Okay, so backing away from this open countertop here, I'll just kind of give you an overview. Oh, there's a window right here. Let me close it so it doesn't glare. On the top here, I just have another little spinner tool full of, you know, pencils, cute pencils, and then these little twine things I love to collect, so I have those. This is my older Cameo. I do hang on to it because I like to use the Shortcuts a Lot program sometimes, and my particular version isn't, and I don't know if they've done an updated version for the Cameo 3 yet, because the Cameo 3 is so new. So I hang on to this, and if I want to use that program with some of my cutting files, I pull this one back over and use it. This is an arm that I use to do my process videos. Lael Konkar actually posted this on her Instagram, so this is new to me. I just barely purchased it, and I love it. It's by Arkon, and Arkon. If you go to Lael Konkar's Instagram feed, she has a code that you can get, I can't remember what it is, like 20% off of something. So I use that code to order, and it's still good, so you can go find that, I think, as of March 2017. Anyway, this arm comes with these two extenders. I actually purchased extra ones, and so it's a little off balance and top heavy, not when it's by itself, but once you put your phone in there, it kind of sets it off balance. So I just use a couple of bags of rocks that I got at Pier 1 that I had left over from another project, and I just use that to keep that weight down. Over here I have a spinning holder that just holds all of my spray inks. So they're just organized into color families, the reds, pinks, neutrals, blues, and greens, so you can see how that works. Over here I have this metal word that I want to hang up on the wall and just some decorative things. So I want to put that love above this. This is a shadow box project that I created with, Christine Middlecamp did this on her blog, and it was the mini doily project. I don't think you can find it online anymore, but she just showed how to do all these different techniques on this, and I just learned from her and copied her and loved it. I still wish she scrapbooked, but anyway, thank you, Christine Middlecamp. That was a super fun project, and I miss you. I think she does jewelry making now. I haven't checked on her for a while, but that was a really fun project to make. And then these are just some art pieces that I created with the very first Lost and Found collection by My Mind's Eye when I was on their design team. But I made this all with my Cricut. I just cut the background, the papers into strips, and then all this is created with my Cricut. Just added some pearls, and I love it. It turned out really cute and matches my office really well. So I love having those in here. Below that, I'll just go through the last couple of cabinets that are in here. Then we'll be done with this room. This top drawer here just holds some extra Silhouette and Cricut supplies. This here is actually just a big piece of shipping paper that I used to do spray ink on. And then here are overflow tools, just extras that I bought, and all the things you need for Cricut and Silhouette. So the markers and sketch pens and just stuff you don't reach, extra scrapers and things, extra blades, stuff you don't reach for very often, but I just needed them accessible. So I did tell you that I have a really big problem of collecting embossing folders, and they're in here on a rolling shelf. So I'll open that and show you. I used to have all these folders organized into like CD case bins, but I got so many of them and it was so hard to pull them out and look at them that I just ended up putting them all in this rolling drawer. So on this side, I have all of the A2 size, and I've made these little tab cards so that I can find their names. I've organized them alphabetically by their names, and I find them in the sample binder, and then I can come and find them in here. So here's all the A2 folders. I hope that made sense. I kind of fumbled there, but oh well. Then these are the 6x6 folders. These are just some older, bigger, thicker dies from Sizzix, etc. These are my A7 embossing folders. And then back here are my 8.5 by 11 embossing folders for the ebosser and just some additional alphabet dies. This little container I just grabbed at the dollar store. I use it sometimes to separate my embellishments for kits and things that I'm working on, and I just throw it in here and tuck it in here to store it. Down below are just some random things that I haven't really found a home for, so extra camera supplies. These containers hold some 6x8 albums that are just waiting to be filled. These are some more dies that are like the long border dies. And then my gypsy boxes, a core kit that I haven't found a home for, and just some trays that I use to organize projects. That just has some cables in it. So not very interesting. Okay, so then on the other side is this last cabinet. We're back over here by the open drawers. And over here are all my manual embossing machines. So this top drawer holds like the 12-inch long border embossing folders. Those are just all stuck right there. And these are my extra embossing plates. There's some mink foil packets right here. And then some extra personal trimmers that my kids use or I loan to friends if they need a trimmer. And then down here are the embossing tools. So I got my Cuttlebug and my old Sizzix. That's just an empty box. And then down here is my Big Shot, my little mini mink machine, and my diamond press.